Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be when your family sucks. I've got an email here from a viewer, and his mother said some fucking horrendous shit to him. And, you know, having come from a background where pretty much everybody in my family never had anything loving or kind to say to one another, I mean, I never had my mother say shit like this, but she said some pretty fucking nasty things to me growing up. And so this is a great email, because I know a lot of people come from dysfunctional, fucked up families, or people that don't know how to act like adults. And it's like, what do you do when your mother or your father or the people that are closest to you are fucking assholes to you? How do you deal with that? How do you keep focused on your goals and your mission, your purpose in life when you're surrounded by people who just treat you like shit? So I have a quote that I wrote, and I'm going to go through his email. And the quote says, "You should love your family, but choose your peers." If you come from a broken family, a dysfunctional family, or a family full of self-hating and self-loathing losers who never have anything positive, uplifting, or encouraging to say, you should remove yourself from their presence immediately or as much as possible. Weak, miserable, unhappy, and unsuccessful people are always going to try to drag everyone else around them down to their level so they can feel better about their shitty lives. When they are successful at destroying other people's dreams and bringing them down to their miserable level, this will actually justify their model of the world, their limiting beliefs, and the dysfunctional way that they live their lives. It's essential to your sanity and your overall success in every area of your life that you only associate and spend your time with people who appreciate you, love you, and value you. Very, very, very fucking important words to think about. I mean, this is something we all have to deal with, assholes in life. If you're a human being on the planet at this point in time, the world is full of assholes, full of people who are projecting their self-hatred and their self-loathing onto everyone else in an attempt to disassociate from it and not take any personal responsibility for their lives. And so it's very important to people that you surround yourself with, because the quality of your life is going to be in direct proportion to the quality of the people who you consistently spend your time with. And if you're consistently spending your time with really low quality people, it's going to be really hard for you to climb out of a shitty situation. That's why you see a lot of people in government housing where everything's paid for, everything's handed to them. Drugs are rampant, crime is rampant, and it's like you get 1, 2, 3, 4 generations of people that never get beyond that. It's because when you put a bunch of people together that are struggling with the same problems and there's nobody escaping from that environment, literally everybody that's in that social network holds each other back. Like attracts like. So he says, "Hello, Coach. I'm having a pretty rough night. I'm 27 years old, and I've been following your work for quite some time now. I'm in a weird place right now. Anyway, I lost my job, which sucked anyway, roughly around 3 months ago." Dude, get off your fucking ass and get a new job. You gotta have some money to pay the fucking bills. He says, "At this time, I collect unemployment and do some trivial freelance gigs to make ends meet while I use this opportunity to build a business for which I have a passion." I think it's great that you build a business, but it takes years. Most times, you're looking at 5 to 10 years to build a business to the point where you can make enough money where you don't have to work for anybody else. Because it takes time, it takes repetition. As an entrepreneur, most of your assumptions are going to be wrong. Most of the things and the ideas that you try that you think are going to work, they don't work. You have to be good at dealing with failure and things not going your way, because as an entrepreneur, 99.9% of the time, shit ain't going to go your way. That's just the way it is. And it's like Winston Churchill said, success involves going from failure to failure without any loss of enthusiasm. So build your business on the side, but you got to work a part-time job or a full-time job so you can pay your bills, especially with the environment that you're living in. He says, "I even got an internship in the industry I'm interested in to give me first-hand learning experience." That's awesome. Also, I've been taking your advice to focus on myself, which has worked tremendously. I even tell my friends about it and it has worked out for them as well. Thanks for the referrals. I appreciate that. Ever since I lost my job, I did not tell my mother about it because she tends to be very over dramatic about everything and throws temper tantrums about everything in her life. Yeah, your mother sounds really happy. What's interesting about human beings is that we tend to attack things in other people that we're disconnected from within ourselves. So if we're working a shitty career and you're talking to somebody who loves their career, they have a great business and they're very happy, yeah, they're so arrogant and full of themselves. Then the people that are not successful have nothing to say about it. That's how they justify their model, their world, is attacking other people who are the opposite of them. If you're a very happy person and you get around people who are fucking miserable and hate their lives and they hate themselves, oh, you're so upbeat, it's so phony. That's the kind of shit you deal with. So if you're focusing on your goals and your mission and you want to be happy building something great and your mother is miserable, which is what she sounds like, she's never going to be happy for you because she's not happy herself. But it's not your job to fix her. Like I said, love your family, but choose your peers. She's obviously not going to have anything positive to say and encourage you to do things that are good for you because she's so miserable in her own life. She even tries to discourage me about chasing my dreams, saying I lack ambition. Remember, no one will ever do or say anything to you that isn't a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves in a moment. So what she's really saying is she lacks ambition. And then I need to stop dreaming. Anyway, she found out I lost my job and all hell broke loose, which I blame myself for. However, that's not the end of it. I've been accused of being a mean-spirited person because I withheld that information from her, and every morning has been constant fighting, heckling, and condescending mean words. Yeah, that's basically how my mother was. That's how she went about trying to motivate me and my brother, was basically to try to make us feel like a piece of shit. Oh, you're going to be just like your grandmother. Oh, you're just going to be like your aunt so-and-so. Oh, you're never going to amount to anything. You know, the last words my mother ever said to me, and, you know, granted, she was totally crazy, psychotic, schizophrenic. She said, you two kids are the two biggest disappointments in my life. That's the last thing I ever heard from my mother. And then a couple years later, she died. That shit's fucked up. But hey, those words don't define me. Just like the shit that your mother says to you, it doesn't define you. It's like you can't control your circumstances. You can't necessarily control what other people say to you, but you always have control over what things mean to you. He says she even accused me of holding her back. See, that's the story that it's my son's fault that I'm a fucking loser. See, she doesn't have to take any responsibility for the fact that she's a loser and is a dreamer and doesn't pursue any goals or dreams. This is how she justifies continuing to live her life the way she does. He says, when I told her I'm not holding her back, she threw a temper tantrum, called me ungrateful, and threatened to kick me out of the house and call the police. Crazy, he says. Anyway, tonight she came to my room and suggested that I go back to school for my master's degree. Notice she's trying to run your life, but it doesn't sound like she can even take care of her own. I considered the suggestion, but expressed that there are other options besides going back to school so I can be successful at something I'm passionate about. I also told her if nothing works out, I'd get a job in the meantime so I can figure out my next move. Dude, get a fucking job immediately. Get off your ass right now and go find a decent part-time job so you can earn some money to pay the bills and get the fuck out of that house. Live like a college student. You can go rent a room from people that maybe have a house and they got an extra room to rent out for a couple $100 a month. You can even find something that's furnished. You don't even need any furniture. You can just move your clothes and shit in there, pay a couple $100 a month. Figure it out, dude. She threw another temper tantrum saying that I lack ambition, I'm manipulative, I'm holding her back from living her life, and that it's time for me to move out. So again, it's all your fault that she hasn't become successful in life. Even though she's been around a lot longer than you have, And she still hasn't made anything of herself. But yet it's all your fault. Again, this is the story that she tells herself. The thing is, I have no problem moving out, and I've even expressed to her that I want to move out and get out of this hell. Dude, just fucking do it. Just get the fuck out of there. Don't fucking delay another moment. Figure it out. Get yourself a part-time job. Get a full-time job. Get 2 or 3 part-time jobs. Whatever you got to do to get the fuck out of there and go lease an apartment. Maybe somewhere near a college campus or something like that where it's really cheap. You can have some roommates or whatever. You can go month to month. Extended stay hotel or something like that. Figure it out, dude. However, even when I agreed that I wanted to move on, she still wanted to press the issue, complain, and argue. That's how she bonds and connects with other people, is through complaining. Oh, my miserable life. Oh, you poor thing. She has a dysfunctional way that she meets her human need for love and connection. She also says to get a job that pays enough for me to move on, which I have no problem with. Again, I agreed and even volunteered that option myself. Dude, just do it. Just fucking get a job. You're enabling her behavior. You're enabling her abuse by just laying around the house doing nothing. He says, however, for some reason it still doesn't resonate. Even when we both agree, she still wants to add fuel to the fire. I thought once we both agreed that I would move out and we would both go our separate ways, the conversation would end, but it didn't. The bottom line, dude, is you ain't taking action. That's the problem. She still wanted to add fuel to the fire. So finally, she accused me of being a liar and told me that I'm a piece of shit and that I'm worth less than the soles of her feet. Thanks, Mom. I love you too. Thanks for the self-esteem lesson. God, you just make me feel so awesome, like I can just conquer the world, Mom. I love you too. She even proceeded to spit on me, went into the bathroom, puts a bottle of Clorox bleach on my desk and said, "Here, why don't you drink that? Why don't you kill yourself and let me be free?" That's fucking brutal, dude. Get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there immediately. Go stay with a friend. Figure it fucking out, dude. You need to get out of this situation ASAP. I didn't even let that bother me. She then came into my room again and said, "I don't know why I gave birth to a little piece of shit like you." Hey, thanks, Mom. Got any more positive thoughts of the day? I'd love to hear more of that. I've tolerated the humiliation, embarrassment, and the disrespect for years, man. Why, dude? Seriously, no one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do, bro. What this right here, this was like, wow. Yeah, wow, dude. Just like the shit my mom said to me. It's like, thanks, Mom. And you know what I said to her? I was like, thanks, Mom. Really enjoyed the visit. I love you, too. And that was basically, those were my last words to her. Never saw her again. Except when she was obviously after she was cremated and she passed away. But my mother was fucking crazy as hell. She was a psychotic, schizophrenic, totally fucking nuts. Saw demons, spirits, all kinds of shit that wasn't there. It was really sad how she lived the last few years of her life. He says, I just want to storm out the door and leave, but I don't have anywhere to go. Figure it out, dude. Find a way, not a way out. If you can't figure it out, fucking figure it out. If you Google Corey Wayne, how to get any job you want, and then down at the bottom where tags are, if you click on career, click on that tag. I think there's 3 articles. How to get any job you want, how to ensure your resume gets you hired, and there's a plan of action of how to handle yourself in an interview so you can get a great job. Do that now. I don't want to act out of emotion and do something stupid to jeopardize my position. Am I being a bitch for not storming out? No, but you need to get off your ass and take some serious action immediately. Do I lack character? No, I just think you seem to enjoy the abuse. You're enabling your mother's behavior. Just think about how nice it'll be someday when you're living in your own place and you're sitting there with your girl and your mother calls you and she starts going, ah! Mom, I'm doing great. I made fucking $100,000 last month. I'm doing fucking awesome. Ah! You know what, Mom? I'm going to buy you a new refrigerator. I'm going to send that to you. But you know what? My girl, she needs my time. We're making dinner together. And you know what? I wish you all the best. I love you too. Really enjoyed this conversation, but I got to go. Or you can say, look, if you don't have something loving, and because like once you move out, then you can say this to her. Mom, I love you, but your behavior and your abuse, it stops. Don't ever fucking call me again unless you're going to be sweet and loving. Because if you do and you start this bullshit act, I'm going to fucking hang up on you. I basically had to have that kind of a conversation with my dad about almost 18, 20 years ago. Actually, it was 20 years ago when I started my business. I was like, look, I'm going to figure this out one way or another. If you don't have anything supportive to say, I don't want to fucking hear it. You were never there for me as a kid. You were never supportive. All you did was sit in front of the fucking TV all day and get fucking drunk and space out. So don't fucking tell me. I don't want your fucking advice. I don't want relationship advice. I don't want quality of life advice from you. I don't want to fucking hear it. If your words ain't positive, shut your fucking mouth. And that was pretty much what I told my dad. And a couple years later, when my business was booming and I became a millionaire first time around, he's like, I think I was like 31. This was like I think it was like 1999. So I was like 29, 30 years old. And he goes, and this was like 2 or 3 years after I had this conversation. I just want you to know that I love you and I'm really proud of you. I was like, can you say that again? That was the first time I ever heard that from my dad. Ever. 29 years. I was like, what the fuck? He says, at this point, I've tolerated this for so long, man. I just want to get myself situated. Then get yourself situated. You can't wait for your business to take off, dude. It might be 5, 10 years away before you figure out your business model and really get it going. So you can't count on sitting at your mom's house and living off her or, doing little odd jobs here and there. It's like, it's terrible, dude. You're in a toxic fucking environment. You're 27 years old. Get the fuck out of there. And by the way, did I say get the fuck out of there? He says, I'm tired of being treated like less than a man. Do I really deserve this? Well, no one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. You keep hanging out, you're inviting her to continue to treat you this way. I mean, deep down, what she's really trying to do is she's trying to motivate you to get off your fucking ass and take care of your own life. Obviously, the way she's going about it is not fucking helpful. It's not loving, it's fucked up, it's dysfunctional. Your mother can't even take care of herself. So how can you possibly expect her to take care of you, dude? He says, is it really that bad? Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad, dude. I know you don't have all the answers, but I can't lie. I need some type of help to give me a clear outlook on how to sort myself out with letting this shit get to me so I can focus and move on in a positive direction. By the way, I purchased your book and started reading it. Awesome. Good fucking job. And for those of you that haven't gotten a copy of my book yet, you can go to my website. Underneath the email sign-up box, there is an image of my book. You can either click on that and go to Amazon.com and order a paperback version or download the Kindle version at any electronic device in under 60 seconds. Or even below that, there's a little black button that'll take you right to the iBook store, and you can download the iBook version of my book. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.